Good afternoon to you all. Thanks for being here. I'm very happy to be able to share with you how we've worked with our clients in the last month on anticipating return to the office in terms of workplace management, parking management, and mobility options. I'm Anne-Claire van Vlieteren. I'm the co-founder and the general manager of Commuty, and I'll try to make the most of the 10 minutes that we have today and share with you insightful tips. Commuty is a mobile and web app that combines all-in-one smart parking management, green mobility organization and promotion, and desk booking. So why did we start Commuty and what is our vision? We started 5 years ago with the strong belief that work will no longer be one single place that people go to every day. And we realize today more than ever that employees are looking for flexibility in terms of work organization and in terms of commuting. They want to stop losing time driving or commuting to the office. And this is even more true with COVID because people have experienced homework a lot more. And so what do we want to do with Commuty is to help them do so, because we believe that reorganizing the workplace is going to be efficient for the employer in terms of costs, for the employee in terms of well-being and efficiency, and also for the planet in terms of environment. Now, what are the challenges that companies have to deal with while organizing the return to the office? What are the expectations of their employees? Well, basically, companies want to get employees back to the office safely. What does that imply? We anticipate and expect that people will avoid public transport more than before. So we expect more cars driving to the office and probably more bikes. So that's one, we need to organize that. Then when people are at the office, they will expect to access a safe and secure office in terms of limiting the number of people that are present on the office floor to make sure that social distancing is respected. So this also needs to be organized on the desk management level. All of this is going to be managed in parallel with the need of more flexibility. So employees will want to keep a number of days that they will be home working, but at the same time they want to organize in advance when they will go to the office, because they will probably need to see their colleagues, they will need to have meetings, they'll need to have days when they focus either at the office or at home. So all of this needs to be planned in advance, and companies should be able to make this planning possible and offer this flexibility to employees. What's interesting in organizing the return to the office is that, just like a move, returning to the office is an incredible opportunity to put in place new policies, new organization means. Because it's a moment where you have the whole attention of your employees and you can implement new things to cope with a new situation. Implementing a system to book parking spots and to organize desk usage will cope with the direct situation of the return to the office, but will also, on the longer term, give data to facility managers so that they can estimate or analyze on the longer term what the optimal number of parking spots is that they need, and how many square meters of office do they actually also need. And so it's really the good example to show that COVID is accelerating the switch or the transition towards the Office 2.0. Now I'm talking here about best cases scenario where everything can be implemented in an optimal way, but of course it's not always the case on the field. So if I think of a few client cases and what has been done there, we have different experiences. So we've been working with ArcelorMittal in Luxembourg at their HQ, 1,000 people on 2 sites. They were planning a move to combine both sites in one smart building. So subjects like parking management, desk management, mobility, smart building as a whole were on the table. And then COVID hit, and they had to postpone the move. And they were then facing another issue that in their buildings where they are today, parking was only available or accessible for a small group of people who were high in the hierarchy. And so they were very urgently looking for a way to flexibilize the accesses to the parking and make sure that everyone that was driving to the office could access the parking. And that's how they implemented this short-term solution of parking booking that made sure that people who had permanent access before always would access the parking if they requested a parking spot, but if there were parking spots left over, it would be accessible to other people driving to the office. So this is one way of dealing with parking pressure and with dealing with the COVID crisis and also the post-COVID crisis. But most importantly, it's a first step towards digitalization and working with an app to book shared resources at the office. And so the very interesting part at ArcelorMittal is that before the move, they've already taken a step towards the move by implementing an app that they will take with them in their new building, and where they can add other parts that will be adapted to the smart building policy they have there, and that users are already familiar with. So this will lower the pressure, thanks to the COVID situation, lower the fear and the pressure of employees when they move to the new office. We've worked with another big company in Wallonia that has new offices in Charleroi with about 800 desks. And they were also looking at solutions to plan the return to the office. Their move was planned in January 2021, and so they wanted to be ready for people to come back in a safe new office. And so what we've worked on with them is to implement desk booking and lunch seat booking to make sure as a first step that the social distancing would be respected and would evolve with the time, because we expect that that the number of people allowed at the office will evolve with the time as the COVID pandemic lowers. And then the plan there is to evaluate at the end of the pandemic whether or not they want to keep desk booking and lunch seat booking in the future, because it could be an interesting tool to help employees plan things and book shared resources. But then also in parallel, while more people are coming back to the office, they expect the parking pressure to become more important, and they will be able to add the smart parking management system to the app, so that in one single app people will be able to plan all the shared resources they need to book and organize efficiently and in a flexible way the days they go to work. When it comes to the app or the system that companies want to implement to organize a return to the office, there are two important points. First of all, most of our clients all agree that the most important point is that it should be a seamless user experience, that it's easy for people and it's not an extra burden when employees come back to the office. And so our advice is of course then to integrate different suppliers who have the expertise in the domains that they are looking at. The example would be at UCB, the connection that we did between Proxyclick and Commuty. The system that was supposed to be implemented is that if an employee of UCB registers a visitor on the Proxyclick app, it should in the same app be able to book a parking spot for that visitor. And so we've connected Commuty parking management and Proxyclick visitor management system together to offer that to our clients. And this is an example of two experts combining their expertise in one single app for a seamless user experience. The second point, and that's an advice and something that we've learned from our clients, is that if you're looking at integrations, try and choose suppliers that have already integrated so that you don't take the risk of integration. Or if you do take the risk of integration, make sure to assess whether the company's tech teams are similar, have a solution for the support and for the maintenance, to make sure that the app that you are going to implement will work, will be debugged, and that you have a good support service. So a lot of companies we work or discuss with tell us that with the new flexibility in the post-COVID era, with the increase in home working, they will have no more parking issue. And we've gone really far into that analysis with one of our clients, Bank van Breda. And we've realized that this is not necessarily the case, because the risk that you have considering that is that if you don't have any system to manage your parking after the COVID era, you'll just have people home working on Mondays and on Fridays, and then you will have a large pressure on your parking on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and maybe also a large pressure on your desks, because you might have reduced your square meters after COVID, but people will all come at the same time at the office. So even if it's to deal with another way of organizing and optimizing your workplace, keeping a smart parking management system, encouraging green mobility, keeping a desk booking system is really important to be able to enable your employees to plan in advance and to make sure that you don't have peaks of pressure at the office. The more flexible we'll be working, the more we'll need tools to organize and book shared resources.